if Zach comes in and balls out against the Steelers, franchise guy.
I'm already insanely biased towards Zach.
No, but that has nothing to answer my question.
Interesting.
I would say yes.
All right, now I'm going to ask you who's not biased towards Zach. Zach comes out, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yes, keep doing it.
But you're not in on franchise?
He has to keep doing it.
300 yards, 2 touchdowns.
He has to keep doing it.
Okay.
He does it for 3 weeks, like Jalen Hurts has done. You're saying he's franchise
Hurts
guy?
has made the playoffs with the team. Let's not act
Hurts
like
looked good last year. Hurts has stayed healthy.
It's just been a 3-week thing. He did get us to the
Zach
playoffs
needs to
last
do it multiple
let
weeks.
me ask you.
was okay last season.
But we knew about Trevor, right? We knew the potential was there.
Yes.
He was awful last season, but we knew the potential was there. He's had 3 weeks.
He was under the worst head coach in NFL.
Absolutely.
Trevor's also a top
He's
five
had
pick.
3 weeks of looking amazing. We're in. Correct?
Yeah.
We're all
I've been in on Trevor in the offseason.
No one, no, we've
But
no.
all I'm saying,
I know he had Zach, but Trevor was a much better prospect than Zach.
Absolutely.
This is, I know what you're trying to do, Drew, but this is my rebuttal to that. If Joe wants to call Jalen Hurts a franchise guy, I don't care because I already know Joel likes Jalen Hurts.
No, this isn't an overreaction from you.
Not even.
And I'm not calling it an overreaction.
I'm not even saying it's an overreaction or it's not. I'm just saying he likes Jalen Hurts. So anything good that Hurts does, he's gonna say
He's only done good things.
that's proof that he's a franchise guy. And if something bad happens, like the Bucs game, he'll say, if you're a Hurts believer, it doesn't matter because he already likes Hurts. If you already like a certain guy, you're going to stick with them.
That Bucs game.
I don't have any agenda towards Hurts, so I'm not gonna just say he's a franchise guy when it's absolutely apparent and
What's he need?
evident.
A playoff win?
It hasn't looked evident and apparent as of
This
right
is
now.
the number one offense in the
bro.
league.
It's 3 games.
And
They were
but a
the
whole
number one
last
rushing
season of
offense
making
last
the
season.
playoffs last year.
Last
does he need to
season,
do?
I had them making the playoffs.
What's he need to do?
But that has nothing to do with my point or you diminishing Jalen Hurts.
What's he need to do?
I'm not diminishing Jalen Hurts.
I'm not.
Does it sound like I'm diminishing Jalen Hurts?
See,
I just said
King,
I'm not just saying he's a franchise guy automatically.
Listen to what I'm saying because that's not what I'm saying you're saying. All I'm saying is them making the playoffs last year and you saying that they were going to make the playoffs has nothing to do with what I'm trying to make the point of. Last season, he wasn't a great passer, but a great rusher and good enough that the team made the playoffs. Whether you knew that was going to happen or not has nothing to do with what I want to say. But he had success. This season, they've come out. They've been the best team in football, arguably. Number 1 in offense, top 5 in defense. Jalen Hurts has been at the forefront of that. So last year, he's shown that he could have success and play winning football. And now this year, he's only played probably 10 out of 10 football. So why it's not just 3 games.
I think Riv is going to relate to me on this subject. In the NBA, when we talk about superstar players, we're talking about the best of the best.
Fact.
Is Devin Booker a star? Yes. Is John Moran a star? Yes. Do you call them superstars?
Not yet.
Is franchise quarterback calling them superstars?
Yes, it is.
What?
It is.
The franchise quarterback
be.
is a very reserved
That's
spot.
not true.
Is Kyler Murray a superstar?
Kyler Murray, to me,
Matthew Stafford, you would have never called him a superstar. Of course he's a franchise guy.
I think Stafford is a franchise guy. He's a top 10 quarterback.
Of course he is, but
Top
you
10
never call him a
quarterback are
superstar.
superstars.
Top 10 quarterbacks are the franchise guys.
Like,
Absolutely,
for
but
example,
they're not superstars.
For example,
they
guys,
are essentially
for
superstars.
example,
here's the superstars in the NFL. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers,
Lamar Jackson, superstar.
Lamar Jackson.
Joe Burrow.
I wouldn't go as far as
Justin
saying
Herbert's a superstar.
Herbert's the last name, and that one is I'm
Why not
fringe
Burrow?
on
Wait, so
right
if
now.
Joe, if
but
Joe,
yes, I
if
would say
Joe
he is.
Burrow is a, hold up, we're getting off topic here.
Really quick, we'll make this.
I think the quarterbacks that are teetering, where like some games they're franchise guys, some games they show you why. Like, why did I pay this guy that much money? Kirk Cousins falls into that. Derek Carr falls into that. Dak Prescott falls into that. Those 3 guys are quarterbacks that I view like sometimes they're franchise level. Other times you're like, why did I pay this guy this much money? Right now, am I at a point where I'm saying Jalen Hurts or Tua or just as good as Dak Prescott? I'm not.
He should be.
Why? After 3 games?
They've looked great.
Like, why? Dak Prescott
What's
is
Hurts
rookie
need to
season.
do? What does Hurts need to do?
He has to just keep proving it.
Okay.
And it's also it's also can you elevate? That's the biggest thing. Like,
So wait, can I ask you a question?
Josh Allen, we see when things break down around him, he can just take shit out of his ass and do it. Like Mahomes, like all these guys, they can just do it. So it's about
Tua this season
it's
already.
about doing it.
We've
So
seen
if
it
Hurts-
we've seen it from your boy Hurts.
So if Hurts goes into the playoffs, wins a playoff game, where would you put him? Because Dak only has one playoff win.
I think right now
he's
Jalen
had
Hurts
just as good as a team as Jalen Hurts.
Coming into the season, I believe I had Jalen Hurts as the 16th or 17th best quarterback in the NFL.
Okay.
I think if he keeps this pace and wins a playoff game,
you put him in the car.
He's in that tier for sure. He's in that tier for sure.
Right, cool.
But if you lose in like Joe Burrow took a team to the Super Bowl.
Well,
I don't think we're saying that he's on Joe Burrow's level.
I think you could win a Super Bowl with a top 12, 13 quarterback.
That means you're a
franchise
perfect
quarterback. Situation.
Not necessarily.
Joe Burrow's a franchise quarterback.
Yeah, but again, so is Matthew Stafford, but you're not calling him a superstar.
When did I say he's not a superstar?
But all right, so Matthew Stafford's a superstar.
He's a franchise quarterback for sure.
So he's a superstar. No.
I took the NBA analogy to make it simpler.
I know, but you kind of
superstar.
Well, it's different. It's different because in the NBA, there are 10 guys that are franchise-changing guys. There's probably a little bit less. In the NFL, there's less than that can actually take a franchise and win with them. Like Matthew Stafford in Detroit, he put up great stats, but he didn't win automatically. In the NFL, it's more of a team game, so it's harder to dictate that.
Absolutely.
But Matthew Stafford is for sure a franchise quarterback. He's been that his entire career. You know, superstar, we're talking about Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes,
Correct.
Which they're franchise guys too.
Correct.
Matthew Stafford's a franchise quarterback, but yes, you're right. I wouldn't classify him as a superstar because that's the tier for the Allen Mahomes, the Rodgers, the Brady's, and Herbert is creeping into that area.
I'm with you.
But that's the difference. That's a distinction for me. And after 3 games, I'm not just going to prop Jalen Hurts into this.
Is Lamar a superstar?
Yeah.
I think he has to be.
No, Lamar's definitely a superstar.
Yeah, Lamar's a superstar too.
Okay, good.
You know, there are certain guys, but like, you know, you can be a great big-time player and not be in that tier. You know, John Moran was all NBA.
I don't think any one of us, or at least me and Joel.
He just said he's a franchise guy.
But
you said after 3 games
he's not saying.
Guy.
But see, now this is where you're losing me.
Did he not say that?
Because we're not saying he's a superstar. You're trying to say we're throwing him.
You said he's a
superstar.
franchise quarterback.
He doesn't believe he's a franchise guy.
Are the Eagles
yet.
not viewing him as a franchise guy?
Of course we are.
They have the Eagles. I think want to see it.
I think you're kind of losing your initial point. Because you're trying to say he's not with the Brady, the Rodgers, the Allens, the Mahomes, the Herberts.
No,
the
I
Burrow.
just said he's not a franchise quarterback. That's all I said.
But again, you try to use it in the basketball analogy, and you said that Stafford's not in that class, Russ isn't in that class.
Bro, I said Jalen Hurts is not as good as Dak Prescott to me.
See, okay, now we're on the same page again.
At the end of the year, he could be in that conversation.
He can be.
He could be in that tier, but as of right now, after 3 games, I'm not just propping him up in that tier. I think Dak has a proven body of work.
But you already had him at like 16. What's moving him up 2-3 spots?
Playoff win.
Those spots are big, gigantic leaps.
Not really, because he had Matt Ryan in front of him, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, like that's an easy.
That's an easy jump.
Yeah,
easy jump.
But Matt Ryan, I think with his age, he's falling out of that faster than he's climbing up in the rankings.
No doubt.
So, you know.
Do you have Tannehill in front of him? Curious.
I did have Tannehill.
So that's another
or
that's
I
an
did
easy
I not.
jump.
You guys are a little bit, declining a little bit. So
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not crazy to put him at 13 right now.
Hey,
14.
he's in a perfect situation. I'm happy for it. Howie did a great job of putting the talent around him, and he's performing. That's all I care about. I just want to win.
Yeah.
All that extra shit. He don't have to be top 10 right now.
No, Howie might be the best GM in football.
Yeah, he's the GOAT. Greatest man I know, personally, other than my boy Myers. Golden State and shit.
Whatever. 10 out of the 15 on the roster drafted.
Okay, so I had Jalen Hurts at 17.
Oh, he'll get to
the
the
guys
top
over him were Jameis, which he's over Jameis. Matt Ryan, he's over both of them right now. So to me, he's below like the Prescott, the Carr, the Cousins, the Murray.
I think he can get over Carr
and all those guys.
He could be better than Carl. So.
I think he could be better.
I had Ryan Tannehill at 21.
Okay,
Dak
that's
is a
fair
tricky
placement
case because Dak was injured. So that
and where was Tua?
Case. Like 21.
24.
Oh.
I actually had Trevor Lawrence a little bit too low.
I did too on my quarterback.
Tua and
also.
Trevor will climb to top 16, top 15, I think, by the end of the year.
And the reason why like I'm quicker to jump on the Lawrence one is because he was a generational prospect.
And I'm not against that at all.
That one's the one where we all like, yeah, he's different.
But I mean, Zach was the number 2 pick overall.
Not generational.
Like, I mean, it's not like he was. No, definitely not generational. But
Trevor's generational.
Zach Wilson was definitely highly touted.
This is what I'm saying. Like, if Zach Wilson had 3 games, let's say he played average for a season, and he had 3 games where he was like out of this world fantastic, and I called him a franchise quarterback, the majority of people would still disagree with that statement. I think the same way with Jalen Hurts. Like, yes, he's playing great, and so is Tua, but They have to consistently do it. I'm just not ready after 3 weeks.
Me and
to just
Drew,
do
I
it.
think Hurts is going to keep doing it. He thinks Tua is going to keep doing it. Like, there's nothing so far in this season that makes us think.
All I'm
that
saying
either-
is that there's
either of these players take a step
there's
back.
nothing wrong with you riding for your guys
For sure.
and calling them franchise guy.
For sure.
The same way there's nothing wrong with me saying they're not to this point off of 3 games.
That's fair.
That's what I'm saying. Ultimately,
One of us can be right, one of us can be wrong.
yeah,
I'm not biased.
That's,
That's
how
usually
sports
the
works.
show.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, what about you, Riv? Do you think he's a franchise guy?
I tell Dehls this all the time. He got to win in the playoffs for me to call him like a franchise guy. So he's been fucking.
You think
amazing.
Kyler's a franchise guy? He hasn't won the playoffs.
Kyler is significantly more
Herbert's a franchise
talented.
guy.
He
Hasn't won in the playoffs.
He hasn't made the
Hasn't even
playoffs.
made the playoffs.
I think when you have like the talent, it's different.
I understand.
So Kyler and Herbert, but I think for Hurts, he's a little different. He has to win in the playoffs. But I know for a fact, like I know for a fact, he's gonna win the games he needs to. He's gonna get us in. But I think a playoff win would definitely put me in the he's the fucking guy for sure. So, but he's definitely he's
Climbing.
right there. I mean, he don't need to be the franchise guy like I said for us to win. Like right now, he can just be.
Yeah, you don't.
The team we have right now.
He doesn't need to be that all-world superstar
He
quarterback
doesn't.
for you.
I
I
think
don't
Joe
he's just
Flacco
doing
He
it
won.
can
right
be
now.
a franchise
So
quarterback.
He's
He
just
needs to
doing
be.
it right now. He's just playing all world. He doesn't need to play all world, but he's just.
There you go. That's the
He's
best.
just
Joe
good.
Flacco won a Super Bowl. He's not a franchise quarterback.
Eli
But
Manning
he
won a
was
Super Bowl.
all-world.
Twice.
And
In
he
that
also
run,
was
he was.
all-world.
Yeah.
In that run, he
In the
was.
playoffs,
That's
yeah.
you need one
That's
run
what I'm saying. And
sometimes.
if you would have called Joe Flacco a franchise quarterback off of that run, you would have been wrong.
People
Kaepernick
definitely were
made the
calling him a
Super
franchise
Bowl.
quarterback
For sure.
back then.
Jimmy
And
G
you would've
made the
been wrong.
Super Bowl. This shit can happen, bro.
I mean, how many years in the league was he prior to that Super Bowl run?
Joe Flacco was,
mid as
I
fuck.
think, he got drafted, I think, in 2008.
He got drafted the same year as Matt Ryan.
Yeah. So he won the Super
Yeah,
Bowl
got
when in
drafted in
2012.
I feel like he got drafted before that.
5 seasons. But even then, he was never like this. His stats were never top of the line. You know,
What was his stats, if you don't mind?
that year,
Just
22
in general.
and 10.
Just no. Read the whole thing. Read it from that.
In the
No?
Baltimore's defense. Whew.
So yeah, he won in 2012. So up to 2012, I'm just gonna go from
Real
2008
quick.
to 2012.
Yep.
14 touchdowns, 12 picks, 21 and 12, 25 and 10, 20 and 10, 22 and 10.
That's pretty all right.
That's solid,
numbers.
but
Yeah.
to just, like I said, if you would have jumped the gun on Flacco, you would have been wrong.
That's not bad at all.
Nah. You're probably expecting a little bit more of a franchise.
Also, you had Ray Rice at the time. That was clearly like the best player on the
Ed
offense.
Reed and shit.